and it's connecting. All right. So good afternoon, guys. We got Griselle Ponce right here with us,
Hello, everybody.
the whole El Sol community. And now we're about to connect also on Instagram. All right. I've started a live video now at the El Sol Salsa Festival.
I see you. All right, so I'm going to put this
So
here.
one person with us, hello, one person.
I don't see, I see black on your live right now. I'm having trouble loading this live video. Do you see it?
I don't see watching again. I see.
Okay, gotcha. I see you now.
I see our community is joining us.
So I am muting which of one of the devices.
Okay, now I'm gonna bring you on Instagram. You need to accept, I believe. Yes, perfect. All set up here on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Guys, this is Mambo Diva, Griselle Ponce in the house,
Hello, everybody.
New Jersey, and her lovely son.
And Adele, just come say hi really quickly. Come, I want to see you.
Do let us know if you can hear us, if you can see us, or issues. Hello.
You see him? And let me see. You gotta come over here. Come up. One up. Okay, beautiful. All right.
All right. Can we talk to Mommy now?
Yeah. All right. All right. So, hello everybody. So excited to be here. Thank you, Anya, for inviting me. This is our second time doing one of these, and it's always lovely to talk to you. Really appreciate talking to you. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, Griselle has an amazing story. Someone is asking how the surgery went, Griselle. You can see she's
So my surgery, I'm still recovering. I'm doing very well though, and it was a simple laparoscopic type. However, you need some time to recover. So I'm here. I'll be back with you guys dancing very, very soon.
all right, Griselle. Tell us about your beginnings. Where does your dancing come from? Tell us about the modeling story and the TV show and all that. People don't know
Got
that.
it. Okay, so don't mind the baby in the back, as distracting as it's gonna be. Well, let me tell you my story. My story is very different from most because most people think that that I wanted to be a dancer all along, and okay, Edel, please come down. This will be resolved very soon. And so people thought I wanted to be a dancer. And of course, now that it's my passion and my love, honestly, it was not my thing. I was very interested in modeling, in fashion, in television. And to be like fully transparent with you, dancing was always in my life, was always in my family. However, it was not a dream, right? So I was in. Okay, Edel, siéntate por favor. Gracias. And so I was living in Puerto Rico, and my brother and I had, some pillow talk, sibling pillow talk, and we were like, this is not something where we want to be. This is definitely. We want to move from here because we have so much more that we want to do. And where we were in Puerto Rico, we didn't feel like that was going to be the place that would take us there, right? Plus, I come from a family that's not that we didn't have everything, although we did. And I don't know if you hear, but I hear an echo. Sorry, a big
Yes.
echo.
And it's my laptop. 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm just taking the earphones. 1 second. I'm gonna disconnect these.
Yeah.
The output cable. Let's see how this goes. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes, no echo. Perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Okay.
hear you low for some reason.
You hear me low now? Okay, what about now? What about now? Yeah, there's no beep anymore. I was getting there's an echo. Perfect. No more echo. Can you hear me?
No, I cannot hear you, but I'll fix it. One second.
Okay, I hear you
What's wrong with
very
my
well.
sound? Something with my sound, with my earphone. People say on Instagram it's good now.
Yep.
Okay, I have to disconnect these. All right, talk to me.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
Now I can. We're all good. Yes, this is an all good cable. Sorry.
Beautiful.
One.
Beautiful. All right. But we have an echo again. Yeah, we have that little echo again. Let me try that. Edel, toma.
Here, right? My laptop is on. It's just the earphone.
Yeah, there's a big echo.
And now,
Yeah, no more echo.
no more echo.
Yep, perfect. No more echo.
Okay, then I have to hold the cable. I hold the cable and you talk. Go ahead.
Okay, is that hi Maria? How are you? Okay, so now can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
Okay, beautiful. So let's go back a little bit just in case we got lost and distracted. So I was about 13 years old, about to be 13 years old. My brother and I were talking, and we just wanted better life. And we sat down and spoke to our mom, and said, we want to move. And for us, allá afuera meant outside of Puerto Rico, right? So we say allá afuera, and most Puerto Ricans, that means New York. Quiero irme para allá afuera. It's very, very funny, but it's just, a saying that it's very understood by all Puerto Ricans. And so my mom, honestly, she packed all her bags with my stepdad and said, you know what? And we came over to New Jersey, where most of my family was in Newark. And so when I moved here with so many dreams and aspirations and visions, but I knew no English. I only spoke Spanish. And, it was not as easy as anyone would obviously imagine. But my biggest dream was to be on television. And that's the one that I just kept going for. I used to sit in front of the TV and say, I'm going to be there one day. And ironically enough, about a year and a half after being here in New Jersey and not having uh, any language, I didn't speak the English. I didn't know anybody, any resources. I landed a job on television. And so
How
I
did you
was
do that? How did you do that? What was
well, let me tell you how I was in a beauty pageant, and that beauty pageant was for Miss Puerto Rico Juvenil. So it was for youth Miss Puerto Rico. And through that, I met a lot of people, networking. I met a lot of people, and I was invited to do a music video. Oh, there's the sitter. One second,
That's your
everybody.
mom. That's your mom.
Yes, that's my mom.
Okay. Let me
Hold on one second.
let me keep our community entertained. All right, guys. Griselle is getting the help because she had some family emergency and no one could take care of her son, so she'll be back in a second. Let me just tell you that she was one of my first teachers, first inspirations a long time ago in 2002. And I am still absolutely in love with the way she moves. I just wanted to dance like her. This sort of lazy elegance and this attitude. And we used to record her with like an old school camera. You could only record like 30 seconds or 1 minute. And we would follow her in converses and just really just grab those moments. she wasn't probably even aware of what she was doing. She was just doing it so amazing. So I was really learning from her the things she wouldn't even teach, and it's really nice to be able to have her so close right now. She has a great story. She was a modeling teacher, and she became a teacher very young. I think at the age of 13 or 14, she was already training models. And somehow from modeling, she came to dancing. But I'd like to tell you all that, Kristen. Okay, I told half of your story.
I was hearing a little bit. So where'd you
Well,
leave off?
I told them that you became a trainer for the models at the age of 13 or 14, but
Yes.
go ahead and
Yes.
fill that gap.
And so, okay, so I think Anya told you the story a little bit. So here's how it really happened, right? I come here. My mom puts me in modeling school. My mom works like three jobs to be able to afford all of this, and we I go to modeling school. I do this beauty pageant. I get invited to do a music video. I end up not doing the music video because I didn't think it was, my values didn't allow me to do it, basically. Let me just tell you what the music video was. La Tanguita Roja. It's exactly by Oro Solido. And I ended up not doing the video.
I don't know if guys, if everybody knows what La Tanguita Roja means. You can
It's
tell.
a red thong.
Yeah.
It's the red thong. um, so I ended up not doing it. There was a producer there of the TV show that I actually got hired, and he saw me, taking a stand, putting my foot down, and saying, I'm not gonna wear a thong. I wear a bathing suit, but I won't wear a thong. And I guess he appreciated that and asked me to come in for an audition. They were possibly looking for another girl to be part of the show. It was a variety show that aired every Saturday on television here. It was tri-state, so you saw it in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and most likely also like Philly, like the closer areas. So now I became a TV personality, overnight pretty much.
How old were
And
you?
I was 15. I was 15 years old. Yes. I don't have my phone, Mom. My phone is here. Just got it. I'm sorry, guys. Got it, Mom. She needs
Motherhood.
me. Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys.
Okay. I got two kids. Right now, I have just run away from them, run away from home, so that I can
Okay.
have the 2 hours of peace. We have a comment from the audience.
Okay, guys. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Now I have now I have a little more freedom. I was very distracted too. But you know what? As I told Anya right before, we're just gonna have to do it. This is reality. This is how it really is. And I guess it also would give a true view on my life, right? You want to know about me? Well, this is my life. I have my 3-year-old son, and not all the time we can get somebody, especially now with COVID. We want to make sure that we're not just giving our children to anybody. And so my mom, came to the rescue. Yes.
Great. Cheers to mom and all the support.
Yes. Yes. It takes a
Okay.
village.
So
Um,
you're in the
so where
TV
were we?
show.
So I
You're in
was
the TV show.
15. I was about 15. Now I'm working on this TV show, and I have one of my jobs is to go interview young girls because at the time also because I needed a chaperone, so my mom always had to be with me because I was only 15 years old, and I went to go interview these girls that were doing also a beauty pageant. And interestingly enough, I go to this place. It's in nearby another city called Hoboken. And across the room, I see a man dancing. Well, honestly, he wasn't dancing, he was just spinning, falling, spinning, falling, but really trying. But I was very curious. I go across. My English was not very good looking yet, which is still not. But and I go across and I go ask him, "What do you do?" He says, "I'm teaching a dance class," and this happens to be Ismael Otero. Ismael Otero, whom you will hear about in this whole conversation a lot because he is my mentor. He's my coach. He's the person that actually, helped me get started in this dance career. And you know me thanks to Ismael Otero. Yes. So the story began there, honestly. He was teaching his first class and I happened to just, be so curious. And he asked me whether I danced or not. And I said, yeah, of course I dance. I'm Puerto Rican, with that whole like bars. And he looked at me and he said, okay. And he looked at my mother and said, okay, like everybody's child is perfect or everybody's child knows. And the truth is, he started dancing. I didn't know at that time anything about on one, on two, Cuban, LA. I didn't know anything about. I just knew salsa. And as he began to dance, I started following, and he was very surprised. He was surprised, and he will tell you a story better because I'm telling you my point of the story. But he says.
Ismail, if you're listening to us, feel free to comment and
Yes,
if you're very
Ismael. I love you, Ismael. Thank you. And but you know what? This is a true story. And Ismael stopped right there and he said, he looked me in the eyes. He said, "I'm gonna make you a mambo queen." And I'm like, okay. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what he meant by that. But I could not come to his classes. I was very interested in coming to his classes, but I could not come because we lived about uh, 25, 30 minutes away. And my mother had three jobs to support so many things. And I just couldn't go. I didn't drive. The clock kept moving, and ironically I get a call from when I used to do the pageants, and I get a call, "Hey Griselle, we want you to be a part of a project for this singer," which was he was my friend at the time, Frankie Negron. And Frankie Negron, I mentioned to him, I said, "Listen, whenever you make it and you be famous, I want to be in the cover of your CD." That was like my aspirations at the time. I want to be in the cover of your CD. And, I get the call. And of course, it wasn't to be on the cover of the CDs. And it was simply to be a backup dancer for the project because they were going to try to um, introduce the record label wanted to introduce a young guy singing with dancing and dancing as well, so sort of like a boy band but just a singer, dancers, etc. So he wanted to do something different for the Latin community. And so when I came in, I was curious. And then there he was. Ismael Otero was hired as a choreographer, and I was, called in. And so that's pretty much how it all kind of tied in again. It was possibly like 5 months later, and we met up again. There's an echo again. Echo.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I lost you in my earphones. It seems
Ah,
getting sorry. Hello? Now?
I'm here. I'm here. Still an echo.
The earphone. It's so frustrating. Maria, can we switch? I really don't get it. Let's see now.
Let's see. Hello?
Hello?
Let me hear you.
I don't hear you.
You still don't hear me? Sorry. Yeah, it's on the computer side, guys. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I still hear myself.
I can hear you a little bit, but I don't know. I don't. Someone says I don't hear an echo.
It's I hear it on here. If you want, I
How
could
is it?
take
Well,
this off.
I can hear. Let's keep going.
If you want, I could take this off and then I don't have to hear myself because that's what I hear. If that
Yeah,
doesn't affect you, can you hear me well?
I I
A
hear you a
little.
little.
Let's see, right about now.
I don't hear you here at all. Something. Mami, ahí abajo hay una bolsa con los poquitos de... Hola, Jessica. Abajo, abajo. Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. Can you hear me? Yeah, now there's a big echo.
No, because now the
Well,
keep
this is
talking.
live, just
Yeah,
like
yeah. I
on
mean,
live
this is
television.
like a lot
And
of
all these
it's
technical
everyone's different.
difficulties happen. Thank you guys for, being patient and being here with us, in fact.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to just talk through normally through a computer with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
But there's that echo.
We're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to let Instagram go, and we just stick to this.
Okay, you know
Okay?
what? I can here's what I'm gonna do with my Instagram if you don't mind. I'm just gonna lower the volume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello?
Guess I can still hear you, but I don't know. Do we have an echo now?
No, no, no,
No.
because it's so low, it doesn't affect me. I don't know. ¿Afecta el eco en el Instagram? Let me see.
Because it just. I want it to be further from the computer because it's otherwise it catches this as well. Or maybe further away somewhere. We're gonna try and remove my phone somewhere away from the computer because it's like catching the computer sound and that makes it hard.
Got it, got it.
We didn't have that problem last time. Okay, it shows my breast and half of my nose. It's we're almost there. Okay.
Okay, while we figure this out, give me just a second, okay?
Look at it. That's gonna have to be anything. Okay. Let's see how it works now. This is so embarrassing. I don't like these situations, but
Okay.
all
No,
right.
nothing yet.
We're back. We're back. We're back.
Is it good? It's
Yeah, this
perfect
is
for
much
me.
better, I guess.
Okay, let's see. Should I bring up the volume here? Let's see. All right.
Where
Perfect.
are my notes? Okay, coming back to the story. You on the cover.
This is so funny. You know what, Anya? You don't have to be embarrassed.
It doesn't have
Things
to be perfect.
happen. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just like this is perfect. Honestly, for me, I just told my mom the same thing, and I'm thinking, you know what? It's real. It's life. What are we gonna do, right? All right.
Okay, so
So
how was? Can you tell us how that experience, of being on the show and being in modeling, how has that affected your growing up as a teenager? It's such a rough age.
it's definitely a rough age. In fact, for me, around I had to grow up. I had to grow up so fast. It wasn't even. I lost this. Sorry. It wasn't even. I didn't get a chance to go play with my friends because now I have a career, as a teenager. Now I'm working on television. Now I have to really show up the way I'm supposed to show up. And I'll tell you an anecdote, something that happened to me. One day I woke up, pajamas, and I had to run to go buy something, go shopping because I needed something for an event. And I left in my pajamas. I was 16 years old. I get to the place. I get this lady says, aren't you Griselle Ponce, the girl from the TV show? And I said, no, but you know what? They always confuse me for her. But that was the last time I ever left my house. Not, dressed well, not, I had to show up. That was embarrassing for me, but it was at the same time, it was a moment that changed my life. How can this girl be out here looking like this with a hat? Just, I just threw whatever. I probably had pajamas on, like, because that's what I remember. And
That is
it,
so American. Like when I went to the States, people just, are so chilled out about the way they dress in everyday life, and in Europe,
yes,
there's a lot more pressure.
I totally agree. It was one of those things, but I never, I don't recall being that way. It's just that that day I did that, and let me tell you something. I see people, and I'm like, let me not judge, but they should not be out of the house like that in pajamas, especially. My father detested, but that changed my life, changed my view on many things. It was definitely a lesson well learned.
So how did you use your modeling skills in dancing and in building your career? There
That's a
must be
great
something because
question.
you have this unique attitude, Just tell us some secrets.
uh, Well, modeling was not very structured, but it was very specific about things like the catwalk, the stand, the poses. Those things were very were specific, but it was not structured because everyone has their own different ways. I didn't get an opportunity to do modeling, at a bigger scale because one, I was too short. Body type is not the type. Definitely too voluptuous for that world. Although now there's room for people like us now, and but the catwalk and the designers and all of that, definitely I got a chance to do plenty of, and I got coaches to teach me how to stand, how to lean, how to start walking one foot, how to position my feet so they look beautiful in photos. And those are the things, honestly, that build me. So when I started dancing, I didn't have any background in any ballet, any jazz, any of that. I started dancing salsa. I started dancing 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I didn't know anything about technique. And how it happened was when people kept asking me, so how do you do that? How do I had to start looking at myself. And I realized that as I was building myself as a dancer, obviously following, Ismael and his coaching, but as I was building myself, who I am today as a dancer, I was implementing all of the things I had learned from the modeling. The positioning, the being sassy, the being super feminine, all of those things. The walk. Since I started wearing heels and modeling, my walk was the walk. I
It's
don't know.
like being basic, the
Right.
walk is basic. It's
Right. And so
all you need.
that's exactly where I'm going with this. And so my walk became, everyone had something to say. And my walk became this thing with the heels and how do you do it? And then when I started dancing, it was the same thing. I didn't want to wear low heels, low shoes, flats. Who who would even dare to ask me to wear flats? I had arguments with my director about flats in dancing. No way, I'm a woman.
I remember you from 2002, 3, and 4, and I remember you in sort of a velvet track suit. It was like pink or blue.
I
Like
think it was
kind of
pink.
a fleshy fabric, and then you had heels with like printed newspapers, sort of type of a pattern, like
This
street.
was in Prague, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
For us, it was this ghetto American style. Uh,
Uh-huh.
Latin barrios was so unique, so special. And I think that you made an impact on my dance adventure later, a big one, because you really stressed and I had that feeling even when you were very young, before you gained all your huge experience in teaching, that you really told everyone like you already got all your interpretations. Like you just need the rhythm and the quality, but you got the ideas. Like all you need, you just kind of play around with your basic steps. And I think I really haven't met anyone, in those next 15 years who would bring that out. That person, give her the tools, and then just really let her be free. I think this is why for me salsa is so much fun. I never felt pressured to dance anything that anyone dance. Just have my own way, and that is so beautiful. I think that doesn't get pronounced enough. That people don't talk about your work in such way.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And a lot of people don't know Anya and I met so long ago, right? I mean, it was 2004 or so. And I remember her very clear. Later on, when we communicated, she said, I don't know if you remember me. And I'm like, yes, I do. I do remember you. Um, because in those times, I mean, we we had so much fun, but we also connected. You know, I think events were not super small. They're not as big. They were not as big as now, but we were able to connect with people. There was not so much cloudness. There was not so much um, agendas. I think people were there to have fun, to dance, to connect, go to another country, and that's how it was going. And let me tell you, even myself, I never realized these things. I always been true to my beliefs and how I teach, but I didn't realize the impact that I could be making on someone because it was not intentional for the impact. It was just being real. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm so happy that you're still around and available. By the way, we will be running online courses with Griselle for the El Sol Salsa Festival. We'll be informing you a little bit later about
Yes.
that.
Yes,
So,
yes,
Griselle,
yes.
tell us about your adventure then. So, you danced with Ismael, the Caribbean soul dancers, and then you also had a duet with your cousin, Chachi.
Yes, so
You had a girls' Bombay Plena show.
yes, so after Caribbean Soul, I mean, during the time that I was still with Caribbean Soul and with Ismael Otero, I started, because I had my own dance studio at the time, I started a Bombay Plena group. It was young girls starting at the age of 6. And I was at the time about 18, 19. So that's pretty much like the range from 6
So
to 18.
Bombay Plena are the traditional Puerto Rican ethnic dances, right? Like Cuba
Yes,
has their Afro-Cuban, then you guys have the Puerto Rican dances, right? Or
that's correct. Yes, yes. It's the cultural. It's one of our cultural dances in Puerto Rico. Obviously, all Afro rhythms, African rhythms, and it's the bomba and the plena. There's two different rhythms there, and but they always put them together because they how do you say, they're like cousins. They say they're cousins. And so I started my group because it was something I wanted to continue. That I started in Puerto Rico, and I wanted to continue that, and I wanted to show that to not just our dance community, but to the youth, because I was always big about the youth, always been big about the youth. And so I started teaching them dance choreographies, all fusion, not specifically traditional. This is how it is. It was all fusion. It was what came to my mind with what I already knew, and I created Taima. Las Hijas del Trueno was the name of the dance company, and as as um as the group started performing, people started asking for it more and more. And so now I'm in Caribbean Soul, and I have my dance team, Tainas, Taima, and it was a lot of fun. So when they started asking us to travel, I couldn't bring the entire team all the time. And, imagine back in those days, 2004. We're talking about the Congress community was not as big, so even financially was not the same like it is now. So bringing a group of 5 girls, and then most of them underage, so you probably have to bring the parents, was not possible. So the oldest one in the team was Chachi. Well, her name is also Grisel del Valle. Super talented human being. She is a singer, a dancer, a actress, and she's doing fantastic things. And I took her with me on this tour to Prague, and we went to Germany as well, which is one of the places that we met you. And we started showing Bomba y Plena to the world now, through the channel of the congresses and festivals.
And what happened after? Because there was a time when you disappeared from the, at least from the European events, for a while, and then it picked up again with Eddie, right? So what happened then during that
So,
gap?
so no, it was actually the opposite. So I started my career, boomed when I also went solo. I left Caribbean Soul. It was hard to travel with a group because I knew that financially they couldn't, do it, and so I started traveling solo. At the time, this is where my career honestly was like I was all over Europe, I was all over the place. This was very crazy for me to do, although I was young, not a mom, no attachment, so I could do this. Um, then I got into a relationship and wanted to, looking now I'm 30 something, and in our community, in our let's say culture, like I was overdue and done. I needed to have children already. Like, how can I not have children already at the time? And so I was looking for a family. I was working with Eddie already since 2009. So this is obviously fast forward. I'm working with Eddie. I'm traveling now. My career and with Eddie now is also booming even more. And but now I'm looking for family. I'm looking for some, like family stability, having a child, etc. I get married. I decide, you know what? I've traveled the world, I've done it all, quote unquote. It's time for me to give this a shot, because the truth is, before, it just never worked with anyone that was not in the dance community, or that in or out. It just didn't work because I was traveling every single weekend. So put it this way: imagine dating or being with someone that's gone every single week. They leave on Thursday, they arrive Monday, so you only get to see them when they arrive, and then you see them getting crazy and getting ready for the next trip, and then they're gone. So I understand that it's not easy, and so that was part of, why I never had a successful relationship as well when it came to that. And so I left. I said, you know what, I need to hang up my dance shoes and try this, give this a try. Thankfully I've been successful at everything I've done, so maybe this is what I need to do in order to do so. Plus mom has suggested that too. And I said, you know what, it's time. And I decided to leave. I left in 2011, closer to, it was about June. I left, and you know what, I thought it was the best decision I made. And we tried it. It didn't work. um, I was not miserable, and I was not missing dance so much, because I tried a new business and I was so focused. I didn't miss dance so much until I came back to dance. When I came back to dance, I realized how much I needed it in my life. I realized how much I missed it.
That I remember from our talk in Warsaw, that was an
Yeah.
interesting aspect when we were talking about leaving and coming back. And I think this can be inspiring, your experience, because for me personally, you also inspired me to go back to teaching, because once you drop out and and you get older and you see all these amazing young dancers, and they're fit, they're fast, they're involved, they have no kids. And
Yes.
I mean, ignore the kids, because sometimes it's about other things, not the kids. And then I was thinking, why would I come back? There is so much. And then you said that there is a certain amount of people always that needs exactly you. And I think that maybe there are some other women who are in a similar situation. Maybe you could tell us about how you experience it. What you struggled with.
Yes, well, you said it right now. When I decided to come back, let me tell you, I had fear. I was so scared. I didn't know how to do it because it did. The dance community around 2011, 2012, with the competitions, it became a fast track, environment. It was different. It was speed. It was um, lifts and tricks and beautiful shaped bodies, and because the competition requires so much, so much of that. And so when I decided, you know what, this is what I know to do best, and I love to do it, and I'm coming back, I didn't even know how to start. I didn't, because the insecurities, how do I do this? I'm overweight. What kind of show am I going to do? I don't want to do, if I train, I can do those things, but I don't want to do those things. Those are not the things that I like, but that's what's in moda, right? That's what people are liking right now. And I had a friend who said to me, and this changed everything: Griselle, if you come back the way you left, they're going to love you the same way. I was like, the weight came off my shoulders, like big time. That right there, that sentence, if you come back the way you left, they will love you the same. I said, well, yeah, why not, right? And so I decided, stick to what you've always done, because it has worked already. So they say, don't fix not something that's not broken. And that's what I did. And when I came back, let me tell you something, Anya. I got so many people, and this is where the comment comes in, saying, we needed you. Thank you. And I'm like, what do you mean you needed me? I don't understand. I have no, like, I didn't comprehend, because I wasn't looking. I wasn't paying attention to what they were saying, that the dance community needed me. And so then I had to start looking. And I said, okay, so there's all of these amazing things happening, but who's focusing on what I focus on, right? Is there enough of that? Is there who's doing it? And if they are doing it, are they doing it for the student, or are they doing it for themselves? And this is not in comparison to anyone, but I really, my classes, and and most of if you're in my class, you're going to win no matter what. You're going to leave my
I like
class.
what you said. Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for the people? It's a very, very good point for all of us to reflect upon as teachers and as participants. Right?
Right. Because I learned that through in the time that I was also away, I did a lot of personal development, and I realized too that at some point in my career, I was not as present as I would have wanted to be, right? And so, and with that meant this understanding of, am I going to stand in front of the room and just teach what I want to teach, because this is what I planned, and because this is what I already choreographed, and this is the song I'm going to do it to, and you're just going to do it, right? And leave half of the people not fulfilled? Or am I just going to stand in front of the room and work with what I have? Right. And so that has been my ways of teaching. So, yes, do I have a concept of how my class is going to be? Absolutely. It always turns around and it changes the direction of it, because not everyone in my class wants to be a performer. Not everyone in my class wants to be super sexy. Not everyone in my class wants to be, to be fast. Not everyone in my class wants to be slow. And so with that, it's like I have to look around and make sure that you and the next person next to you are getting what they are supposed to get out of my class, right? One of my favorite quotes is, the teacher appears when the student is ready. And so, of course, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I'm going to say it again. The teacher appears when the student is ready.
I'm putting it
That,
down.
yes, that means if I am here, right? I could be invisible to most of my students right now because it just doesn't make sense to them right now. They are not ready to receive the information that I'm giving. So if I only focus on like this, like specific information, I'm going to leave everybody or most of the people that were not ready lost.
Do you get negative feedback? Like, do people come and say, "Well, it was boring. You didn't teach us anything. Like, it was slow."
No, I have never, thankfully, I have never received any messages like that. No, I never have, thank God. But I do my best. I do my best, Anya, and I think you've seen in also the class that we just did in Warsaw in the spring. I do my best to connect with everybody and make sure that if I see you struggling, if I see you, not getting the the content or just being frustrated, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to make sure, and I look around, because the whole point of a teacher is not to just give the information. The point of the teacher is to make sure your student understands it. And so if you leave my class and not understand, what I'm teaching you, then what's the point? What's the point of my class? And then I didn't fulfill my job.
You give the sensation you're very caring, and that you actually care, and it's not too fast, and it's for everybody to digest. We have a nice question from Ella Hershey. Ella, when you're starting a ladies team directed by you, it's a very good question, because we're planning an online choreography course with Griselle, and we're gonna run it as the El Sol uh, course while we cannot meet live. And she'll be teaching a choreography, and then you guys will be sending videos, and we can all participate in this together right now while we're still isolated. So there are
Yes.
plans. These plans can develop into something bigger, so stay tuned.
Yes. Yes. So Anya and I had a very short conversation with my baby running around me
Last
also.
night, I couldn't sleep all night last night.
And let me tell you, in that short conversation, we have so many ideas to bring to you guys, for sure. Definitely the boot camp is one of them. Just stay tuned. That's all I have to say. I don't want to spoil all the surprises. I want to take this moment, Anya, to
Yeah.
say hi to Julie, who is on Instagram. And Julie is an amazing dancer as well. She's out of Florida, and the way I met Julie was sort of how I met you, and that we were, I was in one place, and hey, there's Anya, and Julie was just following me everywhere. I went, and she was relentless about classes, about privates, and that's why I have to give her a shout out. She also was she was my assistant for a little while before I actually decided to take off, to take my time off of dance. And she says I stalked her. Um, but
Yeah, we all did that. I did that as well back in the
yeah,
days. Don't tell anyone. I used to even look at what Griselle was wearing, but we couldn't buy that in Europe. That was before globalization kicked in.
that's right. That's right.
Couldn't
Well,
get
just
discounts.
wanted to give you a shout out. I love you, Julie. Thank you so much. Uh,
Griselle, would you identify yourself more as an introvert or an extrovert?
Good question. Hmm. I Can I be both?
Yes. Well, tell us when and what it depends
Yes. Well, let me tell you. Definitely extrovert. I am I walk in a room and I want to make sure I make eye contact and I connect with everybody. And so my son walks in and he goes like he's gonna go get something. I connect with people. Um I love not being the center of attention. That's not who I am. But I love being able to be in a conversation when I have when I have something of substance to say, when I understand the conversation. Otherwise, I can, sit back and just listen. I'm also the type of person that if I'm down, I'm down, I'm in my house. Only the people that love me, when they see me on social media, know that something's off. Only the people that really know me that, okay, I need to reach out to Griselle. So I'm both. I'm definitely on both spectrums. And do I wouldn't change anything. I would love to be a little more vocal on my moments when I feel like I'm down. I love you. Okay, goodbye. um, so yeah, I would love to be more vocal in some of those moments that are more vulnerable, right? But I like to keep something to myself. Being in the eye of like your fans, in the eye of the public for all my life, because now it's been so long. It's hard to be yourself, right? It's hard to to go do a show after you just got told that somebody passed away, or it's hard to go put a smiley face after after you just had a fight at home with your partner, and then everyone that's around you is expecting you to be happy. One second, sorry. Sorry. So yeah, so it's really hard to have a real life, emotions around people, around your fans, because they are always expecting you to be 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
How do you cope with that?
I tighten up my pants, my belt, I put on my shoes, I give myself a pep talk, and I say, you know what, these people are expecting you. They are, you're not to be sad at this moment. You got to toughen up and do what you got to do. But not always. That doesn't always work.
Do you ever have moments like when you doubt yourself, when you have to get out on a big stage or in a big congress, when you compare yourself or you're asking what's your place here? How do Because we all get those, and I was wondering if you can give some advice to us.
Well, I tell you, for me, I never compare myself. I think there's so many people, that have so much to give. I have to give what I give, you know. I don't compare myself. I do have many insecurities sometimes, when it's time but it's with myself. It's me comparing me to yesterday. Am I better than yesterday? Am I, did I prepare myself correctly? That's where my insecurities come in. Not in comparison to anyone else, because it is what it is. What I do, what you do, and what the next person does is what they've worked so hard for. And it's only the only thing we can do is admire, be inspired, or learn from, or not learn from. See, there's the beautiful thing that when you come even to my class, and I said this too, you can come to my class and watch my show, and you're going to learn what to do and what not to do. It's really simple. I love that. I'm gonna do it. Ooh, that didn't work out so well. I don't like that. I'm not gonna do that. Right? So
And
same thing in the class.
is asking, how do you deal with the superficialities of the dance community?
That's a good question. You just have to be true to you, honestly, and that's what I've done. You will get somehow in swiped and go in a little bubble of stardom at some point, because if you're not coaching yourself or getting like self development about how this growth happens, it would totally suck you in. And what I mean by that is you will get stuck in this I'm the star, moment you would get stuck in, I'm superior, you're not. And I don't, and I know we don't use those words, but I know that we have certain feelings, that kind of like relate to that. You just have to be true to you. You did not get where you are, and you will not get where you want to go to without the help of the people. And that's a fact.
But talking about it's like it sounds like an inevitable phase in every artist's way,
Yeah.
right? There is a moment when the stardom kicks in, and to get over it and become a little bit more down to earth, it takes work.
It takes growth. It takes you maturing. So the time, I don't know where my that stage went in my life. I remember only growing. When I came back, I remember that I was not as present in the past. And so by not being as present, I probably was not as, maybe someone spoke to me, and maybe they said nice shirt, and I said, okay, instead of thank you. I don't know. Maybe, it's not in my character, but I know that I was not as present as I was when I came back, or I am now. And so I think that was the maturity, for me, that came to me.
We
And
have, we have a question that Ekaterina is dying to ask from the beginning, but I was waiting for the right moment to let you
yes,
talk. It's a long one, so I'm going to put it on the screen.
go ahead.
Can you share how was for you the online experience to be part of the first online bootcamp tribute to Celia Cruz and to collaborate with all the amazing dancers, Genesis, Versi, Nerea, Exi, and Jessica Aquiles? I really hope we can do this bootcamp soon in a festival in Europe. I enjoyed a lot to learn the choreography. All the best from Brussels.
Yes. Hello, Ekaterina. How are you, my queen? So good to hear from you. And your question, it's a great question, because I know you also know my struggle. So you all know, Hennessy Solorzano invited me to do this online bootcamp challenge. It was a first time deal. I love what it was about, which was like from queens to queens, and making everybody equal. And it was a tribute to Celia Cruz, which I loved as well. When I got the call, I said, of course, absolutely. And she says, I got the first four accounts are for you, and then these four are for this person, and for this person, all the amazing dancers that are listed here. And she said, and then the last one is yours, because I really love this part. And she admired, she's always admired me. And so she said, when I hear this part of the music, I think of you. So I'm like, okay, no pressure, right? No pressure. When it comes to doing the choreography, it was a fast thing for me to do, because I heard the music and I absolutely was inspired by it. But then it came all the insecurities, like, okay, so what am I going to do? Not in comparison to the other ladies, but that is probably going to be in the same line, right? And so if we're talking about Hennessy's, Bercy, Nerea, Exi, and Jessica Aquiles, right? So we have champions, we have amazing, dancers from that are elastic. Like Exi has all this amazing
She's a gymnast,
yes,
right?
she's a gymnast. And we're talking about Bercy, who she's a fireball when she's dancing. And so here I am, classic, traditional, more feminine. When I say more feminine, I mean like in style. What do I do? I'm also, a bit overweight. I don't feel like doing this because I just don't want to do my makeup. So all these challenges and all these like insecurities popped in again. And
I saw the video. I saw it.
yes, and then also I had my medical situation, because I had been getting these pains that didn't allow me to move. you know, properly, because I had to be careful with the way I move, otherwise, it hurts. And so here I am. I said one day I woke up. I went to sleep. I couldn't sleep. I woke up and I got dressed and I said, okay, here it is. Whether this bodysuit looks good on me or not, I'm gonna wear it. And that's what I did. I did the choreography.
I recommend Victoria's Secret leggings. They fit everything in.
Great.
That's my secret right now.
Yes. And so, I put on my bodysuit, and I tell you what, I didn't want to wear it. I didn't feel beautiful in it. I didn't feel good in it. And but I still did it. I managed to get it done. And so,
You said sorry. We're about to get cut off on Instagram, so
yep.
I'll connect you again because it's they only allow 1 hour. Okay.
Okay, good.
Sorry,
Yeah.
we got cut off on Instagram, so we need to reconnect there.
Yes.
Yeah, 1 second. We go. Yes. Okay, I'm starting a live video again on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. Here we go. Okay, I'm waiting for it to pop up.
Yeah, there's a couple of seconds delay, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for you to show up on my screen.
Okay, here I am.
Um,
Yep. Request.
yes, I got you.
There we go. Beautiful. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Connecting. Yes. All right. Yes. So we were talking about this boot camp thing and the challenges that I had. And let me tell you, from weight to insecurities to the camera to doing videos. I can do any online class with people there, and I know that you're there, and I can watch you and I can see you, and I'm super comfortable. In fact, I'm like ecstatic. But for me to do a video and send, I have to probably record that video 1,000 times because all the insecurities, right? You want perfection, and then that's what happened with this boot camp. And then all the ladies started having the same issues. Like, well, now I'm learning choreography from Griselle, Bercy, Hennessy's, Eggsy, and these choreography is not that easy. And, how do I get it done within days? And so I just shared my story with them. I said, listen, I didn't want to do this. I had to get up and do it. I didn't have time to do it. I didn't have a babysitter. As you see, my son, and he will hop onto my leg and he will want to dance. And so all the things that wanted to stop me, I used them for the same reason. I used them and I did it. I just got it done. I put myself in this costume. I don't know how I squeezed myself in it. And let me tell you, I think I look kind of good in it. And that's it. And I got it done. But yes, Ekaterina, it was definitely very challenging for me being an instructor. And imagine most people, most people that are in the boot camp that did it are students or people that never performed before. So I can understand, them and their insecurities, and them being scared as well.
You said, what did you have to sacrifice to be where you are today?
Ooh. Well, main thing is family. To be where I am, I definitely sacrifice a lot of family time, a lot of, that's what I want to say. Yeah. Family, not being able to be there for special events, birthdays, seeing my nephews grow from little to then see them as adults, missing out on the local fun, right? I mean, although I was going all around the world, when I came back home, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do on a weekend. People ask me, so what can I do on a weekend? People coming from, let's say you came from Poland, you would say, what can I do? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm never here on a weekend. I'm always out. I'm always exploring another country. And so definitely sacrifice uh, family time, and that's for me very valuable, very important.
How has motherhood changed you as an artist, dance instructor?
Oh, motherhood, I think has
Do you
been
hear
one
me?
of the
Oh,
things.
sorry.
Yes, can you hear me?
Instagram is rolling.
I'm here.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, can you hear me here? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
You're either talking here or there.
Yeah.
How has motherhood changed you as a dancer, as an artist, as an instructor?
Well, it definitely has made me. Are you sick? Yes, mommy's still busy. Look. Are you sick? No, I didn't fix it. Excuse me.
Griselle, Instagram,
Sorry.
Instagram threw you out. Let's try that again. Something wrong with the connection. Apparently. Looks like we're having connection problems. I don't know on whose side, ours or Griselle's, probably Griselle's, in both media. Yeah, we're gonna have to disconnect. We are going to have to disconnect. 1 second, let me try again. Okay, she's out. Yeah. Sorry, guys. See you in a sec. What an adventure today. Greetings to the mother of Griselle. Um, I'm gonna have to disconnect, guys, and bring her back again. So see you in a sec.